What is going on, college sports fans? Welcome back to another video, and today we got a bombshell of conference realignment news, and it all started with UCLA and USC announcing that they are in the works to join the Big Ten by as soon as 2024. Now, the deal is not finalized, but it looks like this is what's going to happen. And as for the teams playing in the Big Ten, I mean, it would make for some good matchups, but personally, I don't like this move. I mean, they are so far away geographically. I mean, the fans of the UCLA and USC fans in LA are going to have to travel to like Maryland, Michigan. I mean, that is so far away. I personally don't like that. As for competitiveness, at least in college basketball, I mean, UCLA, very historic program, and USC, they have some good teams as well. It would cause for, some good competitive balance. I mean, geographically, I just don't like it. As for college football, I mean, that just puts the Big Ten up there with the SEC as absolute super conferences in college football. I mean, it is just unfair. Those two would undoubtedly be the two best conference. I mean, they already were even before this move and before the Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC move. But now this just puts them over the top. And the domino effects that happen after this are actually crazy as well. It looks like either the Big 12 or the Pac-12 are going to die out. It is just inevitable at this point. It is going to happen probably in a few years, but they have to combine if they want to survive. The Pac-12 and the Big 12, they may lose a few more teams along the way, but they have to combine. Personally, I would say Cincinnati, West Virginia, and Central Florida, they move on and go to join the ACC, and then all the Texas teams, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, they can join with the remaining Pac-12 teams. I think that makes the most sense, at least to me, but I just hate this move of UCLA and USC joining the Big Ten. I just hate it so much. But another domino effect that came from this is Kansas looking to maybe join the Big East, trying to get out of all this madness and join the Big East. It makes sense. They are a basketball school. They're not very competitive in college football, and for their football team, they would just become independent. And as for basketball, I mean, that would make the Big East the best conference in the country, hands down. And it makes sense for them geographically as well. I mean, they have very close opponent in Creighton. That would become an instant rivalry right away. And then they got other teams that are close like DePaul and Marquette. And it's not too far to get to the other teams over there in the East Coast as well. I mean, I would like this move a lot for Kansas, and I would not blame them a bit with all the madness going on if they just decide to dip and join the Big East Conference. And I've also been seeing that Gonzaga is looking to join the Big East Conference as well. Now, I don't like this one as much as I do like the Kansas one. The Kansas one makes sense, and the Gonzaga one, it doesn't make sense geographically. I mean, that's the same thing with USC, going to have to play Maryland. It would be Gonzaga going all the way over to Rhode Island to play Providence. I mean, it just does not make sense. I wouldn't like it for that reason. I mean, as for would it make them the best conference? I mean, yes, that would undoubtedly make the Big East the best conference in college basketball, and it would make for some really good games week in and week out. But I think if Kansas joins, that just automatically makes the Big East the best conference even without Gonzaga. They don't need to have a football program to join the Big East, and that is why it makes sense. I could see this happening. If this does happen, we have a dominant conference in college basketball in the Big East, and we would have two dominant conferences in college football in the SEC and the Big 10. And I just don't like these super conferences. I don't like the direction we're heading. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the ACC can maybe pick up some teams like West Virginia, Notre Dame, Cincinnati, and Central Florida, kind of getting in there and picking up some bigger schools. But man, this is just crazy. I want to know all of your guys' opinions down below in the comment section. Do you guys like this for college sports, or do you think it's too much? But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Make sure you guys let me know your guys' thoughts on this. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.